Hello, and here we are once again, playing a Class A game that is people rated from 1800 to 2000 on chess.com, trying to find a 5-minute blitz game so that we can hang on to and maybe even improve our blitz rating. And we'll see how things develop here. It looks like we're going to get a white, and I will give them a bird opening. So here we go with knight f3. They play the knight c6. I personally consider that just a little bit weak. And if he's going to allow me to double up his pawns, I will immediately do so. Now right here, I've been bothered a little bit if he wants to move that bishop up, even though it's moving a piece twice in the opening. But almost always they'll move the knight out so as to castle. And here we want to load up on the c4 position. You should very well be aware of how we do that by now. Now eventually I will vary these things up in the opening somewhat. It's just that why should I do so until I stop making progress? When I stop making progress on a consistent basis and need to switch things up and they do something that I can't really answer, then we'll vary and do some things that I've played in the past or maybe something else, because chess is a very open game and varied in how you can approach it and what you can do. Here I go ahead and post up with the knight on e5. Not only is it a good post for the knight, but he has to do something, and his queen protecting that pawn is a very inefficient kind of thing to do. Plus, I'm not sure what he expects of the queen there. What does he think the queen's going to do? Yeah, so now he moves the bishop back. He's probably going to advance the a pawn, but the bishop, of course, has a lot to do before it can get activated. And this is a sign, a little bit of desperation, because after I take that pawn, there's no immediate follow-up for black of any kind whatsoever. Later on, I can just take another pawn here, and I'm up a pawn, and then he has to go all out on an attack. Like right here, there's nothing here. I mean, nothing at all. In fact, now he's hurting pretty bad, because after the knight must move, my rook is ready to move in. Alright, he's not going to let me do that because he posts up with his knight. What do we want to do? We could just go ahead and pull back here. Okay. Maybe I should have moved the knight back over to g4. I'll have to study on that in the future. See which place is better. Now I'm hitting the e6 square, which is undefended, threatening a take and fork on his queen and his rook. He has to do something about that e6 square. Thinking about what my follow-ups might be. Not exactly sure at the moment. I can always take pawn and swing my rook over. Now that the d file is starting to close up, I can swing my rook over to g1. I can take and then push with the h pawn. I can play a little bit sacrificially and just simply push with the h pawn without taking anything, although I think taking and pushing with the h pawn is probably the best. But in the meantime, he needs to do something about this. Oh, wow. I don't understand. How does that help you, sir? Okay. Let's see what he's got going here. Yeah, you get some compensation. Nothing major, though. Alright, let's take our profit and see what he can do. Wow, he takes back with the rook. Okay. See, now he's got a problem. If he takes back with the bishop, then I take this pawn. If he... Alright, he took back with the rook. Where is your counterattack? I just don't see it. I'm looking for it. Just don't see it. See, now he has to move the rook somewhere, but anywhere he moves it, right, he goes back there, then I just offer a trade here. You want to trade? Sure, trade. I should have done that with the other rook. This is probably okay. And now here threatens checkmate. Oh, I just thought it threatened checkmate. It doesn't. Okay. We're still fine. It's just that I thought I had a threat, but I didn't. I thought I could go down to f8, but the bishop covers f8. I'm glad I saw that just in time. Oh no. There's got to be a good way to punish that. I mean, we can't let him get away with that, can we? Where is something just really juicy good? I mean, wacky, wild, and Kool-Aid style I can go on him. Alright, we can try this, I guess. Yeah, I saw that you might do that. And after that, can I not take here? And now what are you going to do? Still up the exchange here. Have extended threats or threats for the long term against his king. Let's see, he's got the check here with the bishop. I just moved my king over. Then if he checks, I can check with the knight now after that. Alright, if I move my king over, he checks with the knight. Then I move my king over again. And I see no more checks. If he takes with the knight, then I can block with my queen. Now if I go here, no, then he takes my bishop, so I have to move over. I'm liking my queen move when I took the pawn on c6. It seems to hold everything together defensively. Now I've got some neat tricks, such as sacrificing. Oh, well, I'm threatening to immediately take the bishop. Well, all right. And here, what if I go here? Does that not cover everything? Oh, he's only got 13 seconds left. It looks like I have a winning position anyway. Alright. There we go. Alright, good game. No, that's it, fella. That's it. Thank you. Good game. Alright. Looks like we're going to continue on in Class A. And we're now up to 1827. If we go back, we can see the opening developed very normally, as we've seen before, and all is going well. After I posted up here and he moved the queen in, didn't like this move. I thought that was not too good. He's already in some trouble because this bishop doesn't really need to be on a6. When I say develop normally, I mean normally for those as black who don't know the opening. If you're black here, don't put your bishop on a6, don't put your queen on d6. They're just not looking at bright futures there. And when he goes back, where I was in some indecision was at, let's see, this point, as exactly how I wanted to proceed. I ended up pushing with the h-pawn, and right here, just some indecision here. For example, is back at g4 better? Maybe not, because the reposition of this knight at d4 ended up being good. So I think we're okay. And white here looks very good to me. I don't see any problems for white here at all. It looks all good. And black is already down a pawn. Just all the pieces are lined up. I think the problem is that black should have found a solution before this, not afterward. Because afterward it's just very difficult here to find a way forward for black in any way that doesn't end up with a huge problem. At this point right here, when I repositioned the knight, he really couldn't find a good continuation to defend the pawn. If he had gone over here, for example, then he's got long-term problems doing that as well. I can immediately exchange off and then swing my rook over. I can pile up on that pawn. That invites some complications right there, though, in the immediate sense. No, I don't think I can immediately, because if bishop takes knight, bishop takes c4. So let's not do that. Of course, I really want to jump in at b6, but the knight protects it. So I want to protect f4. That's a possibility. Exchange here. And if he doesn't want to expose his king, then he has to take back, say, I don't know, let's say he takes back with the bishop. Then I protect f4, and after protecting f4, then the e4 push becomes a threat to bump his knight, and then he's got threats of check here, just all kinds of nasty stuff. Alright, so this looks pretty good. Yeah, I think the exchange here on f6 would end up looking good. I can now proceed to push the h-pawn, do all kinds of things against him to start in on a kingside attack. And once again, I'm still up a pawn. Alright, so that's pretty much your analysis there. I hope that somebody else could think of something even better. If so, then please make some comments about it, and click on subscribe if you have a desire to see any more of these at all. But they're helping my game to record them and to post them, so I hope you enjoy them. Thank you.